Am I playing the same game as everyone else? Just over 1 month ago, Nintendo launched the Nintendo Switch 2, and now we've finally got our hands on the first fully fledged 3D platform game for this console. And I'm talking about DK Bananza, or Donkey Kong Bananza, for those of you that are not as cool as us. And there's a lot of people, myself included, wondering as to why this wasn't a launch title for the Switch 2 in the first place. But since getting the game, I've pumped a few hours into it now, and I just kind of want to share my initial impressions on the game and my thoughts on it, and kind of see if it lives up to the hype that we all had for it. Now, if you've been living under a rock, you would have known that this game recently has been given 10 out of 10s and 9 out of 10s across the board. I just don't see it. I'm not trying to be controversial when I say that this game isn't a 10 out of 10 experience, but in my personal opinion, I don't understand how it's getting the 10 out of 10 scores. Objectively, it is a good game. I can't deny that when you look at all the other scores that are out there, but my opinion on the game is that it's not the 10 out of 10 experience, but that's not to say it's a 2 out of 10 either. It's still a good game. There's just some aspects to it that don't gel quite well with me at this point in time. Maybe with more time in the game it's gonna get a bit better for me. But let's get into it. I just want to say as well that the footage you're seeing behind now or on the screen is footage from the direct that we had a few weeks ago. I didn't want to spoil anything for anyone. Also, I'm a few levels in now, so I don't really know what has and hasn't been shown, so I don't really want to ruin anything for you. So apologies if you were hoping to see my own footage in this one, but it will be there for the full review of it. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or the gorilla in the room, we should say, and that's performance. As was the case with Mario Kart World, DK Bananza did originally start being made as a Switch 1 game, but obviously when they realised what they wanted to do with it and what they needed from the console, they couldn't get that out of the Switch 1, so it was ported over to the Switch 2 and development continued there. And it's a bit weird that given how long this game was in development for and the fact that it's like the first title that's coming out for this console, like the first big new title that's coming out for it. We've all played Mario Kart games before, we can't count that as a new game. It's a new installment. Anyway, it's weird that the game has got so many FPS dips in it, and I know you're saying that, I don't notice it. I do. A lot of people out there do. When you open up the map, it goes slow. When you destroy a lot of stuff at once, it goes slow. It's not for long, but it happens, and it's weird that it's there and so prevalent on a launch title. I'm saying launch window title, shall we say, for this brand new piece of hardware. And aside from the slowdowns that happen, I find myself fighting with the camera a lot of the time as well. When you're digging through everything, it's really hard to see where you are in terms of in the world, because the camera is just kind of going all over the place. You're kind of always looking through mud, and I get it, you're not meant to see what's coming up, but sometimes you can. I'm not sure if that's a bug or it's the camera glitching out or what, but it's just a bit weird. And when the camera pans in certain directions, depending on where you are in the world and what's around you, the whole screen can turn brown as if you're underground, but you're not. You're on top of the ground. The cameras have to pan through the wall. It's really weird, and I did find myself fighting with the camera system quite a bit at the time. That's not to say it takes you out of the experience, but it just makes it a little bit weird. Aside from some FPS dips and the camera issues though, the game does look really pretty. It is a very pretty game. It's a very Nintendo game, which is what you'd expect. The characters have all got lots of charm to them, and even though it's not a rare game, it still carries some of that rare charm with it, with the way that some of the NPC characters look and feel and animate. It did bring back a lot of nostalgia for me. And the animations that DK has are just great. The way that he moves around the world is just really smooth and really fun, and everything just comes together really well there. And the way that Pauline is as well on his back, and when you're doing certain moves, the way that she's animated as well, yeah, it all works so well, and it has a lot of that Nintendo charm with it, and it's such a good experience from that point. The music in this game is also great. There's so many tracks to choose from. Some are retro, some are not. It's really good, and it's really nice that you can just chill out in your little getaway areas and just listen to music at your own time. Hopefully it all comes to the Nintendo Switch Music app as well, or the Nintendo Music app. But I do have one gripe with the sound, and that's the dialogue. Now, hear me out. Pauline speaks in actual words. She speaks in English in my game. Obviously she'll speak in different languages wherever you're from. The rest of the cast don't. And that's fine, but some of the words they say are, and it's really off-putting when I'm reading the subtitles and it catches me out. I guess I prefer to have like everything synced up, and I get that they're not speaking English, and I get that it's a little bit weird, but it's a personal thing. It's just the way that my brain works. It's really hard for me to decipher what's going on sometimes and stay locked in to the actual story that's happening. It is nice to see everything fully voice acted to a certain extent, if you can count like making up sounds as voice acting, but then isn't all words just made up sounds? But let's talk about that story. It is there, and it does kind of pull you through the main game, but I did find myself going off it quite a lot. I wasn't made to feel like I had to progress the story. I just kind of did my own thing and went to the story when I got a little bit bored and wanted to go to the next area. There wasn't anything that gave me that sort of, I have to get to the next, but I have to figure out what's going on. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's just there because it has to be there, or if it's there because they wanted to make a proper story out of it. It's, again, as I always say, it's no Shakespearean epic. Would have liked a little bit more from it, maybe. And when it comes to progression, there's bananas, and you get bananas for doing a whole host of things. And oh boy, are there a lot to collect. But what I will say is, I'm yet to get to a point where I've needed a certain amount of bananas to progress, which kind of makes a lot of it feel like filler in a way, because without having the need to unlock them, you could, in theory, just beeline the story. Granted, you would be a little bit underpowered, but you could still do it. Which is a bit of a strange take in a game like this, whereas I'm used to having games like Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, and I think Mario Odyssey as well had it, where you had to have a certain level of like stars or sprites or whatever it was to get to the next area, and you don't really need that in this. But what you do need the bananas for is to unlock stat points, because that's right, DK gets skill points in this game. Every 5 bananas that you get gets you a skill point, and then there's a whole host of things you can unlock, from being able to punch more concrete and different things through, be able to have spin attack, to surf on water, your sonar skills more improved, your collection skills are better, loads of things like that that you can get, that you can unlock, which is, it's really nice to see it in a game like this, because I don't think I've ever seen a Mario game outside of Mario RPG games that have had stats like this before, so it is really nice to have an unlock system in it. It's just really weird to say those words when talking about a Mario Universe game. And speaking of DK's abilities and stuff, like I said, you've got a sonar skill where you pound the floor and you can see things that are around you, like chests, bananas, fossils. You've then got spin attacks. You've got the ability to pick up the ground, throw it at people, or throw it at enemies. You can throw it at walls. You can build things out of it. You can surf on it. You can use it like you would across the land with shields in Breath of the Wild, and you can surf down hills with it and all that. It's really interesting with the amount of stuff that you've got there. There's a few things I would have liked to have seen a bit more of, but it was really nice, the vast range of skills that DK actually has in this game. It does make it for a bit more of a deeper platform experience. I am looking forward to seeing what people like eventually figure out to do, because when you look back at how some people were moving around Mario Odyssey, to bring some of that over to DK would be really, really fun. And then there's Pauline, and she sits atop DK's shoulder, and she offers words of encouragement throughout the story and throughout the game. Some quite cute little moments between the both of them as well. But the main purpose that she has is if you hold down the left bumper button, she'll sing. And what that does is either show you where your next target is to progress the story, or it will show you any of the fossil maps that you found and what's located in that location, or it will take away these purple like void ribbons that are on things to unlock different areas. It's a really interesting thing that they put into the game. It's a really nice mechanic, and to see it used in different ways as well, like one skill doing different stuff, is really nice to see, because it means that it doesn't take you out of that experience. You just hold down that left bumper button and you've got all this at your fingertips. It's really good. But like I said, there's a lot to collect in this game. Maybe too much. I did find myself overwhelmed by it, and I don't know if it's just me. I have seen other people out there say it as well, but the want to smash everything up is always there, and it's really hard to not think that you might be missing out on something by not smashing everything. But then sometimes you can't see where you are, and it's really hard to navigate around what you've smashed up, that it just gets confusing and awkward. You just give up on it and go to the next part. And that's what I've experienced with it. Maybe it's just the way that I'm wired up. Like, I get overwhelmed by stuff like that, and it just kind of got to me a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see the destructible environments and what you can do with it, but yeah, it just maybe wasn't for me in that respect. But I'm enjoying the game. It's good. It is good, trust me. I'm just not 10 out of 10 enjoying this game. I think one of the other positive things about this game is that it was all on one card. I just put the card in my console and I could play the game. Yes, there was a patch I could download for it if I wanted to, but I didn't have to. I could just play the game, which in this day and age is a blooming blessing. It is also nice to see there's a level of customizability to this game as well, where you can pick out different outfits for DK and Pauline, and they've all got different effects to them, different stats that they improve, different abilities that they unlock. Yeah. It's nice to have this level of customization to make the game your own. And you can even change DK's fur color, and it doesn't do anything. It just makes him look different, and it's quite nice to have that little personalization to it. So yeah, it's nice little touches like that that kind of bring this game alive. But with all that said, and with everything that I've experienced so far in the game, I still can't see it as a 10 out of 10. Now, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's just not for me, and that's fine. It might be for you. If what I've talked about and what others have said about this game does resonate with you, then great, you're gonna love this game. Me personally, it's not clicked just yet. I'm still giving it time. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad game and I'm gonna stop playing it. For me, at the moment, it's probably sitting at about a 7 out of 10. So it's still good, but it's definitely not that 10 out of 10 experience just yet. And with that in mind, I think it's still a bit weird that it didn't come out on day one. And I also wouldn't rush out to get a Switch 2 at this point in time just to play this game. But like I said, I'm going to be doing a full review on this and the Switch 2 in general and Mario Kart World as well, so stay tuned for more on that. I just got a lot going on at the moment, but I'm trying to get through it all. I did think that this game would put me off bananas though, but I love them more than ever.